Short Story 83 The Curious Case of the Lost Picnic. In the rolling hills of the South Downs, bathed in the warm glow of a summer sun, lived Emily, a little girl with eyes as bright as buttercups and a nose always twitching for adventure. One fine morning she packed a delicious picnic basket, crusty bread slathered with honey, juicy apples kissed by the sun, and a crumble brimming with berries ripe for the picking. "Off to explore, Grandpa," she announced, bouncing into the sun-dappled kitchen. Her grandfather, a gentleman with twinkling eyes and a beard like spun silver, chuckled. "Excellent! Remember, Emily, follow the winding path, stay within sight of the farm, and be back before the shadows stretch long." With a promise on her lips and a skip in her step, Emily set off. The path unfurled like a green ribbon, leading her past fields buzzing with bees and meadows ablaze with wildflowers. A curious blackbird followed her, hopping from stone to stone, its inquisitive head tilting with each hop. Suddenly the path dipped into a shady woodland. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, painting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air, sweet with the scent of pine and honeysuckle, was alive with the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. Emily felt a thrilling shiver down her spine, the perfect place for an adventure. She paused beneath a giant oak, its branches gnarled arms reaching towards the sky. Setting down her basket, she decided to explore further. Following a narrow deer trail, she came upon a hidden clearing. A gurgling stream danced in the sunlight, tumbling over smooth stones and whispering secrets to the ferns lining its banks. Entranced, Emily sat down on a moss-covered log, her picnic laid out before her. As she dug into her honey bread, a flash of blue caught her eye. A beautiful butterfly, its wings shimmering like stained glass, flitted from flower to flower. Emily, ever the curious one, followed it deeper into the clearing. But in her pursuit she strayed from the deer trail. When she stopped to admire a cluster of mushrooms with crimson caps, she looked around and realized with a jolt of surprise that she was lost. The sunlight, dappled before, had vanished, replaced by the lengthening shadows of the approaching evening. Panic fluttered in her chest like a trapped bird. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring the familiar shapes of the trees. But Grandpa's words echoed in her mind. "Stay calm, Emily. Remember, there's always a way." Taking a deep breath, she wiped her tears and surveyed her surroundings. The stream, she remembered, flowed towards the farm. Perhaps it could lead her back. Following the gurgling melody of the water, Emily pushed through the undergrowth, her heart pounding against her ribs. Thorns snagged at her clothes and twigs tripped her steps, but she persevered. The stream, at first a mere whisper, grew into a confident song, leading her onward. Just as the shadows deepened into dusk, Emily spotted a familiar sight. The old stone bridge with moss-covered railings that marked the edge of their farm. A wave of relief washed over her. Crossing the bridge, she hurried towards the familiar farmhouse, its windows glowing with warm lamplight. There in the porch swing sat Grandpa, his face etched with worry. When he saw her, his face lit up like a full moon. He rushed forward, engulfing her in a hug. "Emily, you're all right. Oh, thank goodness." Tears of relief rolled down Emily's cheeks as she clung to her grandfather. In between sobs, she recounted her adventure, the lost path, the hidden clearing, and the faithful stream that led her back. Grandpa chuckled, relief turning into pride in his eyes. "Well done, Emily. You remembered my advice, stayed calm, and found your way back. You are braver than you think, my little explorer." Back in the kitchen, nestled in the warmth of the lamplight, Emily enjoyed her picnic, the taste of honey and berries sweeter than ever. Though lost for a while, she had found her way back, carrying not just a full stomach, but also a heart brimming with the thrill of adventure and the knowledge that even in the woods, courage and a clear head can be your best guide. The next morning, Grandpa and Emily returned to the hidden clearing. They didn't find the lost path, but they did find something else, a clearing even more secret, filled with tiny, brightly coloured wildflowers they had never seen before. Emily smiled, knowing that her adventure was just the beginning, and the whispers of the woods held countless more stories waiting to be discovered. Vocabulary notes. General. Rolling hills. Gentle, rounded hills like waves. Bathed in. Covered in, surrounded by. Glow. Soft, warm light. Buttercups. Bright yellow wildflowers. Twitching. Moving quickly and nervously. Dappled. Covered with spots of light and shade. Buzzing. Making a continuous humming sound. Ablaze. Brightly coloured, shining. Inquisitive. Curious, wanting to know things. Gnarled. Twisted and knotted. Moss covered. Covered in soft green plants that grow in damp places. Dappled patterns. Patterns made of light and shade. Shiver. A small, quick shake of the body, often from fear or excitement. Entranced. Completely captured by something. Flutter. To move quickly and lightly. Jolt of surprise. A sudden feeling of surprise. Panicked. Feeling suddenly and intensely afraid. Echoed. Repeated. Persevered. Continued trying despite difficulties. Melody. A pleasant tune. Dusk. The time between sunset and darkness. Moss-covered railings. Railings covered in soft green plants. Engulfing. Wrapping around someone completely. Nestled. Settled comfortably in a warm or cosy place. Thrill. A feeling of excitement, often mixed with fear or danger. Countless. Very many. Whispers. Quiet, soft sounds. Animals. Blackbird. A European songbird with black feathers. Deer. A four-legged animal with hooves and antlers. Butterfly. A flying insect with large, colourful wings. Plants. Berries. Small round fruits that grow on bushes. Wildflowers. Flowers that grow naturally in fields and meadows. Pine. A tall, evergreen tree with needle-like leaves. Honeysuckle. A climbing vine with fragrant flowers. Ferns. Plants with leafy fronds that grow in damp places. Mushrooms. Fleshy fungi that grow on the ground. Food. Crusty bread. Bread with a hard baked crust. Honey. A sweet, sticky liquid made by bees. Juicy apples. Soft and sweet apples with a lot of liquid. Crumble. A sweet dessert made with fruit and a topping of oats and butter. Emotions. Relief. A feeling of happiness and relaxation after a difficult or dangerous situation. Pride. A feeling of satisfaction from something you have achieved. Courage. The ability to face danger or difficulty without fear. Other. Dappled before. Previously covered in spots of light and shade. Familiar shapes. Shapes you recognize because you have seen them before. Faithful stream. The stream that always flowed in the same direction. Full moon. The moon when it is completely round and bright. Nestled in the warmth. Surrounded by the pleasant feeling of warmth. Brimming with the thrill. Filled with the feeling of excitement. Countless more stories. Many more stories that are waiting to be discovered. Story written by Google Bard AI. Image created by Adobe AI. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you click on the like icon and take the time to leave a comment. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.